Welcome back to Saxthorpe Farms, and we are back from our little break. And we are going to be making some grain grist. We are going to mill our way to not quite millionaires. If you remember after the last video, at the end of the last video, we got a great demand for grain grist. And the plan is to mill the sorghum, which has a peak price of £945 per 1,000 litres, and the wheat, which has a peak price of less than that. If I can spot the grain grist, I just saw it in the menu as I was scrolling. I had a really hard time finding it as I was playing, which has a best price of 1989, but is currently at over £2,000 per 1,000 litres. So way more than we could get as a best price for either crops, and more than its best price normally. So we've got, I'm going to end up milling about 320,000 litres of grain into grain grist using the Mill-ionaires, I think it is. For that, I asked about a feeder tractor. I have added in by Mill-ionaires the T7 series. I'm probably going to go for the short wheelbase version, but not today. But this is the plan for our future feeder tractor. I think that'll be really cool as an option. But we need to get ourselves the grain mill. This is not the Maize Plus one, or not the one that comes with Maize Plus. This is one that is supported by Maize Plus, supports Maize Plus, is endorsed by Maize Plus. The Mill-ionaires S2000. The big difference with this one, it doesn't need as much power. Two, it lets you mill individual grains into grain mix. So that's why we're using it. We can mill our wheat into grain mix and our sorghum into grain mix. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will spot that I lease this. And I remembered as I was doing attempt number 1 at this commentary, I'm not supposed to lease things. So when I start playing next, I will be buying this to make up for that fact. So we're going to get set up. I've got the Thorger wagon, the mill, and our belt thingy. We're going to use that to feed the grain into the sell point, because it's kind of a tucked away sell point. So, and you will have seen that from the thumbnail. So originally, I finished recording this video on Monday night. So this was going to be Wednesday's video this week. And I started recording commentary for this on Monday night. It'd been a long day at work. I was working at home. It was a long day. And I got started and I just couldn't get it. It did not feel like getting finished. Things just kept going wrong. And that's when I did post up on the community thing that I was going to take a break until Friday. As it was then Tuesday, what day are we on today? It's Wednesday today, yeah. Tuesday was a horrendous day. I woke up with a headache. Driving to work, a stone chipped my windscreen. That turned into a giant crack in my windscreen, which means I'm having that replaced on Thursday afternoon. There were some problems with the teenager's car insurance because she has a limited mile policy and a tracker box, and she hit the limit a week before the policy was due to expire. Our shower broke, which I found out when I got home from work. Need to fix that later today. Need to check some bits on that later today to see if I can fix it. Yeah, Tuesday was not a good day for me. There are a few other things as well, which I'm forgetting, but all went wrong. It's Wednesday today. I'm attempting to get this video finished so that I can get a little bit ahead for a video on Friday. We'll see. I've just got home from a fairly tiring work meeting, but had a bit of energy, so we'll see if we can get something done. Yeah. So I decided on Monday, I just gave up, and I think for the next week or so, videos are gonna be a bit sporadic. planning to take some time off work next week, towards the end of the week. I've got quite a busy start to the week, but once I've got that out of the way, I'm going to hopefully take a few days off, have a long weekend, and see if I can relax a little bit, because I'm exhausted. And mentally exhausted, as Mrs. D would say, have no spoons left. I'm not sure if that's a very well-known saying. That is, she suffers with something called chronic fatigue, and it's something that's well-known in that community. So yeah, the drawer is empty, shall we say. But I have to keep going, because that's what you do, isn't it? I'm fine. I'm just worn out. And I have a lot of stuff to get done at work, which I can't just not do. And I have a lot of stuff in the real world to get done, which I can't just not do. So, and I've always had moments like this in my life. It's just I'm talking about them now. They're not new. So I've always got through them. It's just now sometimes other people hear about them. And yeah. I tried to turn the cab around on the truck because it was raining and I didn't want to get wet, but I wanted to see what I was doing. I know, roleplay. Hey, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah, so that's kind of that. First auger wagon empty. I thought I'll hit record because we're nearly done, right? But I've actually got like 3,000 litres in the mill, and then the belt wagon full. So we're gonna rotate the cab so I can see where I'm going. We're going to go load up the first load of wheat. The plan is to mill about 200,000 litres of the... I think we've got 240,000 litres. If not, we're going to save about 40,000 litres of the wheat, basically, to make grain grist for the cows. So, yeah. That's the plan. The goal, as I think I said last time, is to buy the field up near the cow farm to put an industrial BGA in, because we can then use that to process the excess maize silage that we've got. The remainder of that field I will probably put grass in to make more silage for feeding cows and feeding the concrete cow that is the BGA. And we're going to pay some debt off, and it's going to be awesome. And yeah, it's cool. So we got £277,000 for that first wagon full of sorghum, which is pretty crazy, I think. And it's really weird for me thinking about numbers this big in Farm Sim and not finding it too cheaty. But this is what we need to do to progress this save and get towards owning the whole map. And it's partly the volume of crop that we have, and the game's given us a great demand. We should take use of it, and that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we've got a little bit of sorghum left. We'll probably mill that as well. But yeah, 200,000 litres we are going to mill into that. We're going to buy field 40 for £160,000 with a 25% discount thanks to better contracts. We're also going to pay off £81,000 of that loan. That leaves us with just about £250,000 worth of debt, which, considering where we've been in the past, is pretty darn good. The debt's been up and down, but that's towards the lower end. That trailer has been processed. I didn't bother showing that one. It kind of looked a lot like the last one. And we're now going to load up the last 80,000 litres of wheat to sell. And then I'll bring the mill back over here to do the milling for the cows, and then we'll take that up in a trailer to the cow farm. I don't actually have anywhere to store it up at the cow farm, but we can sort that. Yeah. I feel really out of breath today. I think it's because I've been home like 20 minutes and just been rushing around trying to sort stuff, and thought, I've got a bit of time, the house is empty, I'm going to sit down and quickly get this done. So let's do that, eh? So last of the wheat coming out of the Thork wagon, it's got to run through the mill through the belt system. But look at how much money we've got. Almost Cartech rich. Not quite, but almost. And we have bought a new field and paid off an 80 grand loan. So that was another 240 grand that we had. It's pretty crazy for me. So the BGA is going to cost us £250,000 plus a bit for, you know, getting it placed and stuff. We're going to have some spare cash. I don't get that new tractor, but I think probably we can get another field or two as well. We'll see, or a bigger field. There are some more fields up around where we've bought. So field 40 has a crop of canola in it, which we're going to harvest, because why wouldn't we? There's another field behind that that's got canola in it. Maybe we can pick that up as well. We'll see. The more land we get, obviously, the more crops we can harvest and the more money we can make. The other thing that I'm considering, I just want to see how much money we got for this last load. Obviously, it wasn't a full load. It was only 80,000 litres. It's going to be, what's that? 180 grand? It's not bad, is it? Better than a kick in the spuds. So let's mill the wheat that we've got up here for the cows. Yeah. The other thing that I might do is we're going to go over to the modular greenhouse in a bit to put in a solar panel for the groundwater pump to keep that running. But what I might do is sell the shed that we've got there, put the other half of that in, so there's 4 modules, put a different shed in, and increase the output of that and keep the money rolling in. Yeah, so we're up here now. I had to put some more seed and substrate in, but this is from the energy generators pack. I did a review on this a little while ago, and it's only 8 grand. I think it's going to generate more than enough electricity to keep the groundwater pump producing enough water to run all the productions, and any excess we'll just sell the electric charge if there is any, and if not, we don't have to worry about water anymore for the homebrew or the greenhouses. So that's cool. And yeah, just makes our life a little bit easier. That means with the homebrew productions, we just have to move the manure and the slurry. And for the modular greenhouse, we just have to do the seed and the substrate, because the fertilizer gets distributed from the homebrew and the water goes from the groundwater pump. So yeah. And we are now combining our canola field. Before we do that, I'm going to buy the soil samples. I almost never do this. Field 28 is the other one. It's quite a big field, so it might be a bit expensive. But it would work on us getting... I would quite like to start getting clusters of the map brought. We have got 2 more fields to combine still as well. We've got our sunflowers and corn. Corn we're going to mill into CCM, so it does make sense that we buy the mill anyway. So yeah, we have got a lot of cash in the bank now. It's going to go up. It's only going to go up because we've got quite a lot of maize silage. Both of the fermenting silos are full, and we've got the bunker full. So I need to work out how much roughly we need to keep to feed the cows, and then the rest we can sell. Going to be good. Going to be good. And I think once we've got the BGA, I might start looking at some pumping and hosing for fertilizing using the digestate. Haven't really done much of that in a while, so that could be fun as well. Yeah. What else has been going on? So there have been some good things this week as well as bad things. There have been a lot of bad things lately. If you remember, I did the budget PC video. In making that video, I ended up buying 2 cheap graphics cards, because the first one I brought off of AliExpress wasn't quite up to what I wanted performance-wise, so I brought a different one. That one that I brought off of AliExpress, I just sold on eBay for... After fees, I took a little bit of a loss of what I brought it off of on AliExpress, but only a tiny loss, and otherwise it's just been sat in my loft. So that was cool. So just got rid of that. Basically, the amount I sold it for on eBay was what I paid for it. But then eBay fees took a bit of a hit. So, you know. But hey, it's now not just sat cluttering my house, and I got the cash back. There's a couple of other bits of tech that I'm probably going to bung on eBay to recover the costs of. If you guys remember when my laptop broke, I built a desktop computer to kind of help, and then with all the upgrades I've done, I've got some spare parts from that which I might stick on eBay, because basically they are kind of I kind of get the money back, because some of those I bought from eBay. So yeah, can basically get my money back on those, I think. And the reason that I want to do that is I'm in the process of building a mini ITX PC, so a little PC that I can hopefully use when I'm traveling, but also for when I'm streaming downstairs, which has been less frequent lately, but that's for reasons, and might be less frequent this week for reasons, or have been less frequent this week for reasons. But yeah, so that's cool. I've got most of the bits for that now. A couple more bits to get, but if selling some of these bits is helping offset some of that cost. Yeah, I guess the other thing actually that happened this week is Joker's got an infected paw, which sucks, because he's not got many good legs, and one of his good legs he's got an infected paw in now. The vet thinks he's got a grass seed stuck in there, so I've got to take him back to the vets on Friday. So yeah, that was a swift £100 bill on, what day was that? Monday afternoon? Yeah. Oh well. He's a tough dog, mind. He's a tough dog. That was what I was doing. One of the things I was doing before I tried to do the commentary for this video, which is why I ended up not feeling like it. Yeah, took him to the vets, and she examined him, squeezed the thing on his foot that we were a bit worried about, and blood started coming out. And I think he's got a grass seed or something stuck in there. She ended up getting a pair of forceps out and kind of trying to dig out whatever was in there, with just a small amount of anesthetic spray, and he just kind of sat there and took it. Tough dog. Yeah, but she couldn't get it out, so he was going back on Friday, possibly to be sedated to try and have whatever foreign object is in there removed. So yeah, so many things this week have been thrown at me, and it's been tiring. It's been very tiring. I actually tried to have a lay-in this morning, which is really rare for me. I had to go to a meeting today, which is what I've just got back from before I'm doing this, and I worked out last night that I didn't have time to get up at a sane time and do the run that I wanted to do this morning. So I decided to set my alarm for later than normal and sleep in a bit, and I thought I might do it when I get home from work, but actually realised that I'm too fatigued to be sensible and do that, so I'm going to do it tomorrow morning before work. And yeah, I'm trying to be a little more sensible, but equally I need to do some running because I have an ultra marathon in a few months' time. So hey, one thing I am going to do once I have done that ultra marathon is take a bit of a break from long distance running, I think. But I have an entry for that, and this is the last one that company are running, so we will do that, and then we will take a bit of a break from that, I think, for a while, let my body and brain have a chill. Anywho, considering that I didn't do anything this field, I have no idea what the state of the field was particularly like. The nitrogen looked like it might have been okay. We got a decent amount off of here. Wasn't awful. Essentially a free crop, because I'm just buying the field as a plot of land to put some industry and some grass onto. So it's quite nice in that it links up to the cow pasture. There's a gate there, so I could make the cow pasture that's in that field is one that I made anyway, so I could mod that to be expandable pastures compatible, and we could just expand the pasture into here, so that the cows can graze that area rather than worrying about cutting the grass that's there, because the pasture's not big enough for those cows anyway, so that might be a good idea. And we could do that. We could put another pasture there and just move them across and let that one rest. Either is a really good option. Either is a really good option. Yeah. You know, it says Wednesday afternoon. I'm really looking forward to the weekend already. But I already feel that the weekend's going to be too short. Partly because I know that, so I usually do a part day on a Friday, usually. But with Joker going into the vets on Friday morning, and he might be being kept in to be sedated to have this thing done, that I know Friday's going to be a bit weird. I also know that I've got a lot of work to do in the next few days. So it might not be a half day Friday, particularly as tomorrow. So Thursday, because today's Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday for me. It won't be when this comes out, because this is probably going to come out on Friday. Think of the words you want to say. Sorry. Tomorrow, I'm having my windscreen replaced because the stone chip in the afternoon. And we're also having a boiler serviced in the afternoon because that got booked before all of the other stuff happened. So probably only going to be able to work tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon is going to be a mess because I've got boiler service person coming and windscreen repair person coming. So and then it's usually, because it's Thursday, it's usually Terra live streaming, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I don't know when all of that other stuff is going to be finished. So yeah. So much stuff. Anywho, honestly, thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all awesome. Thank you for listening to me whinge a bit, everyone. It has been, there's been a little bit of whinging in here. It's life's busy at the moment, and as some people will say, why don't you just stop doing YouTube for a bit? It's fun. It's my hobby. You know, and stopping your hobbies is a bad thing when you're stressed. So, not stopping my hobbies. Let's have a quick check at how much canola we got. So, 45,000 litres. Pretty nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time.